Hello, YouTube. It is now day 6 of the 40 Days for Life campaign and day 6 of my 40 Days for Footage contest. The 40 Days for Life website, the home website, says that they now have a tally of 35 babies saved in the last 6 days by them encouraging people to not have abortions by protesting and picketing outside of abortion facilities. So, today I got an email from the 40 Days for Life campaign in Beaumont, Texas, once again. I'm going to read the first part of this email to you guys. It says, "Blessings. This is a call for fervent prayer. Connie, a new volunteer, has befriended a Chinese couple who operate a local restaurant. Their 18-month-old is in China with Karen's mother. They've been trying to save enough money to bring the baby here. Their dilemma is now intensified. Karen and Kevin just found out they're expecting a third child. Karen can't see any options for herself. She's not a U.S. citizen yet, but her husband Kevin is. They went to the health clinic, who tells them they can't provide any assistance as she is not a U.S. citizen. If she returns to China to have the baby, she fears they will force her to have an abortion because of the one-child policy. This is a multifaceted problem. They are Buddhist, but they are leaning towards becoming Christian from the influence of Connie and her husband. No matter what religion we profess or don't profess, there is regret involved with abortion, no matter race or creed. Please pray for this couple who are suffering with severe material difficulties at this time as well. Their temptation is great. Please pass the word on to all prayerful peoples on your list. Thanks." Now, I'm going to comment on a few things in this first part of the email. The whole email that I got today will, once again, be in the description box so that you can read the whole thing. First of all, the people in the Beaumont, Texas 40 Days for Life campaign know quite well that they run an alternate health clinic, with funds from the Catholic Church called the Hope Clinic. And in the Hope Clinic, their mission is to provide services to women in a way that does not lead them to abortion. So what's the problem with telling Karen and Kevin about the Hope Clinic? Would the Hope Clinic turn them away for not being, or for one of them not being a U.S. citizen, even though the baby being born here would be a U.S. citizen because the father's a citizen? That would be no problem. It would just be the mom's questionable citizenship that would determine whether or not the Hope Clinic would give them help. I wonder, really, I seriously wonder if Karen and Kevin would have this same problem if they had converted to Catholicism before they got pregnant. Would the Hope Clinic turn away a Catholic couple, if one of them had questionable citizenship, And really, how hard is it for a Catholic church to tell their members, hey, there's this Chinese restaurant that if it doesn't make enough money, by the time this woman is, at that last day where she can decide whether or not to have an abortion, if they don't make enough money by this certain time, she's going to have an abortion. So everybody go buy your plate lunch there, Now, 40 Days for Life. If you take 40 days and then you take, say, 20 people on average I saw coming there. You know, they weren't all there all the time, but, in and out. If you counted them all up in the day and in the night, they'd have about 20 volunteers helping them out. If each one of them spent $10 a day at the Chinese restaurant, you would probably end up with $8,000 of extra revenue in just the 40 days. Now, the problem with this is that this 40 Days for Life campaign actually happens to coincide with Lent. So a lot of these people are fasting at least during the day. Some of them are just water fasting for the entire 40 days. I really don't see how they do that. By the way, this right here is a chunk of summer sausage. It's made with all beef and it's fucking delicious. I like to eat it with pieces of raw onion. Here's my onion. And low-fat Sargento string cheese. And a little bit of mustard. And a Mountain Dew. So, yeah. So they couldn't do it during the 40 days because of Lent. Because they think that they need to starve themselves for their God. Even if the life of a baby hangs in the balance. But outside of that 40 days, there's another, period of time where they could, hold charity dinners in a Chinese restaurant. It's not like they don't have the resources to cook, They run a Chinese restaurant. And it's not like American people don't like Chinese food. It's not like Catholics can't eat Chinese. And it's not like Chinese restaurants even just cook Chinese fare. There's probably, plenty of buffalo wings and probably even spaghetti in their buffet, How hard would it be to raise the money to just pay in cash to have a child born in a hospital? How hard is it? These people give up their time and spend a couple hours sitting in front of an abortion clinic because that makes them feel good. But, just the money that they're spending on food alone for themselves, they could just spend at the Chinese restaurant for a month or two. This isn't like extra money out of their budget. It might be a little bit extra. But Chinese food restaurants, normally they give you, hefty servings that you could, that could last you all day. So yeah. Further down in the email, there's another story about the Knights of Columbus in Charleston, South Carolina, have been doing their 40 Days for Life thing at night. The Knights of Columbus is like a good old boys club, and in the Catholic Church. So the Knights of Columbus, they can have all their men stay at places at night because, when the sun sets, that is no place for a woman. A woman needs to be, in the security of her own home behind, a couple deadbolts, holding a couple Colt 45s, ready for that intruder. Yeah. So basically what they're saying is they believe that the Beaumont, Texas facility is scheduling a few abortions after 7 p.m., after the protesters have gone home. So now they want to get a group of men from the Knights of Columbus to stay there for a few more hours. But they need it to be men because it's going to be through the night. And the rest of the email, including some things that I don't really disagree with, some nice things. They're down in the description bar, and a link to my 40 Days for Footage contest will be right here. I've given a few examples for the kind of videos that I'd like submitted, and yeah. Until tomorrow.